Hello and welcome to this edition of One Take, which we begin on a somber note. First of all of us, our condolences to the family of the victims who died in that horrible train accident in Balasore, Odisha. What is it that we are going to be discussing this week? There's a huge cry for the resignation of the Rail Minister to take responsibility and also to seek accountability from him. And the larger question I'm asking this week is, do resignations matter, or does it become only an opportunity to score a political point? That's my question to all of you, and do give in all your reactions.
I remember a train accident when the Congress party was in power. The Congress party did not get up and say, now it is the fault of the British that the train has crashed. No, the Congress minister, I remember, said, it is my responsibility the train has crashed, I'm resigning.
This is not the time to do politics. This is the time to focus our entire energy.
Also demanded your resignation,
which is absolutely fine. My point is, this is the time to fully focus on making sure that the complete restoration happens in the earliest possible time.
Let's begin with some of the resignations of the railway ministers. There have been a handful of them. For example, the former late Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri, who was a railway minister when he resigned and the massive train accident. Mamata Banerjee as rail minister. Of course, her resignation was not accepted by the late former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, and of course Suresh Prabhu as well. Now there's a huge demand by opposition parties and even by former rail ministers like Nitish Kumar, like Lalu Prasad Yadav, Mamata Banerjee, all of them saying there's just no way that the present rail minister can skirt the responsibility and go away. There has been an equally strong rebuttal coming in from the BJP, where they have put out statistics to show the number of casualties, derailments during the tenure of these three names I just took. But no one resigned. So has it just emerged as a tutu meme, each calling out the other person? And that's why I'm asking this question, not just focusing on the rail ministry resignation demand, but also the larger question of resignations of our mantris. Well, world over, there's a trend that leaders are supposed to take accountability and they take the responsibility as well. And that's why they step down and they offer to resign. What it really does is sends out this very strong message that yes, I hold myself accountable because it's you, the people, who have voted for me, and you are the people I am answerable to. But unfortunately, very often that's not what it emerges as. Especially in our country like India, it is actually becoming a political point. I'm not defending for a moment the lacunae or the mishaps which may have taken place as far as the present rail accident is concerned. A CAG report does point out that there are vacancies which are crying to be filled. Modernization, new methods to control rail safety is something which has been either overlooked or has not been implemented. Those questions certainly should be answered by the government. That's the point which I'm raising. But today I'm going beyond this resignation. Our demand for resignations on the social media timeline or by political parties just that? Or will that eventually give a tool to whoever is in the party in power at the center? Okay, fine, I've asked for the resignation of this minister. Business over, kaam khatam, let's just go back and forget it. Or should that minister stay on and be held accountable on a day-to-day basis and asked that what is it that you've done? What is the lesson which has been run? Do resignation make it convenient for the political class to forgive, forget and move on? Unfortunately, that's very often the case. I remember the cases of the former Home Minister P. Chidambaram are being cited, that when he took over as Home Minister, there was a significant drop in acts of terror. But my counter to this is, why did you allow his predecessors, who were repeatedly being criticized, whether it was Shivraj Patil, whether it was Sushil Kumar Shinde, that they were soft on terror? That they were not sending out a strong message or that body language which say Chidambaram was being able to send out. I remember Chidambaram, when he took charge as a Home Minister, there was a kind of a panic mode as far as officers were concerned. They knew here was a minister who meant business, who's going to be very curt. In fact, that biometric machine was put up and he would actually take details about who has come in at what time. Every file had to be cleared on the same day and he was completely hands-on. Why is it that the central leadership of the Congress party was not asking for this kind of a performance or accountability from his predecessors? The picture is true of about other political parties as well. Was there a mistake which was made by the predecessors of Ashwini Vaishnav, who's the present rail minister, where the railway safety has been compromised or has not been given that focus, or that there was a crying need for modernization? These are the questions which certainly need to be answered. But do resignations really help? Let's talk about the UPA times, because I remember I was there at 7 RCR, that was what it was earlier called. Over there was a huge media trial, media outcry. The BJP was breathing down the neck on the former Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh, on Sonia Gandhi, demanding the resignation of the ministers. So it was a long list. It was Ashwini Kumar, the law minister. It was, of course, Shashi Tharoor. All of them were asked to step down. What happened? There was a state of limbo. The law ministry perhaps did not see as many appointments as it did during the UPA time. Now, law ministry is not a small ministry. It is very important because it keeps in mind a lot of factors. So, you had a Kapil Sibal, you also had, for example, Ashwini Kumar giving way, and Veerappa Moily. All of these keep on changing. What happened was that there was a state of confusion, instability inside the law ministry, and therefore, there was a situation where it was not able to do its job. So, therefore, I am asking this question, is whether resignations really help the cause. The whole idea of a resignation is to learn a lesson. Are lessons really learnt? Was a lesson really learnt when, for example, Suresh Babu stepped down, when Mamata Banerjee offered to resign? Have their followers or those who came after them have given that kind of an importance to railway safety, to ensure that there is adequate staff? There is no overcrowding of trains. You are seeing those pictures, how the train was just moments before that horrible accident took place of complete overcrowding. All of us know people who don't even bother to buy a ticket, or even if they buy a ticket, it is not confirmed saying, oh, the TT Karalega will manage to do it. Massive overcrowding, especially on some sectors in South, in Bihar, in UP, in this case Odisha, there were a large number of migrant workers. And that's the issue. The CAG report is something which needs to be replied to. Will a mere resignation of the rail minister really help the case, or whether the fact that there are so many people who are grieving, people looking for the dead body of their relatives, not able to find them, perhaps the family will never ever be normal again. No matter what money you give, what compensation, what job offer you give, things are never ever going to be the same again. Will a resignation help their case? Will a lesson be learned? That's the question I'm asking all of you this week. I gave you examples of the UPA times and nothing really changed. I've also pointed out that Mr. Chidambaram taking charge as a Home Minister also raised as many questions as it offered solutions. And did Mamata Banerjee's resignation, or did an offer of resignation, Nitish Kumar, Lalu Prasad Yadav, make railways truly a lifeline? I'm afraid no, because if it had, then things wouldn't have been what they are. So before anyone asks for the resignation, and here I'm not defending the cause of those who are demanding the resignation, because obviously there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of grief, and obviously some answers have to be given. Some accountability has to be fixed. But isn't the priority at this point of time, whether it's the BJP in power at the centre, whether it was the Congress in power at the centre, the priority to ensure that everything is streamlined, facilities are provided, medical opportunities are provided, and things are slowly get back to normal as much as they can. It's a contentious question I asked this week. Do give in your reactions on the social media timeline, as you always do. I'm going to air them. Thank you so much for watching.